Story 1. Background. I used to work at a big Midwestern warehouse grocery store as soon as I graduated high school. Let's call it SMART. I worked there for almost 4 years in the bakery department. I had the most amazing team I worked with. Corporate was challenging sometimes, but otherwise, we made do. Characters. Little confused me. Pregnant Karen in her late 20s or early 30s. Awesome manager in his 50s doesn't care about your sob story. The story goes, I was working the closing shift one night. Only one of us stayed behind after 5 p.m. to clean everything, put stuff away, get custom cakes for people who ordered them, write on cakes, and so on. I had worked there long enough that I knew the routine of regulars, and I could usually see if people could be trouble. So, I just cleaned the floors and was in the back washing dishes and operating our very loud industrial dishwasher. Now for context, picture this. Our bakery had a cake station at the front with a walkway to get into the bakery from the floor where customers are. Double doors at the back were for employees only. Next to the doors was a big walk-in freezer. Big mixing bowls and big wooden benches where we worked dough and packaged products were also visible to customers, along with a big walk-in oven and proofer. Next to the cake station was a weird angled wall that kind of hides the back, which has a walk-in refrigerator and everything used for cleaning sink, bleach cleaners, etc. Back to the story. When I'm in the back cleaning, I would occasionally peek around the corner to see if customers were waiting for an employee, then get back to work. It's when I hear an ahem really close. This always scares me since I'm in the back with a loud dishwasher, so people have to be loud to get my attention. I turn around, and a male customer starts apologizing that he came into the bakery like 5-7 feet walked in, but he was trying to get my attention. I tell him I understand, and he goes and stands in front of the cake station. I tell him I can't hear much with that darn dishwasher going. He chuckles and tells me he's here to pick up a cake order. He gives me his name and a yellow receipt, and I happily oblige and go around the weird angled wall back to our fridge to grab the only cake for pickup with his name on a white receipt attached to an adorable princess cake. I go back, set the cake down on the table where we put the free cookies, and open it up for him to look at. He loves it, says his little girl will love it, and he takes the cake, thanks me, and heads up front to pay for it. I turn to head back to finish my dishes for the night. I'm just about to turn the corner when I hear, "Excuse me." I turn around, and a very pregnant lady is trying to wave me down before I retreat to my hidey hole. Doesn't look like a difficult customer. Should be okay, right? Karen. Excuse me, I have 3 cakes that I need to pick up. I've already paid for them. It's common for people to pay for cakes before they are made. They just have the receipt attached to the cake, and the customer has a copy as well. It's our policy, especially for expensive or multiple cakes, to pay up front before we make them so we don't get stiffed at the last minute. Me. Oh, okay, ma'am. Give me a moment to check our fridge for your cakes. Could I get a name on that order? It's Karen Rage-A-Lots, and I'm supposed to pick it up at 6:30 p.m. All right, I'll be right back. She smiles. I then notice her empty cart and also think I don't remember seeing any other cakes in the fridge. So I walk back to our fridge and walk in, thinking maybe they put her cakes in a different spot from the normal ones. I'm looking. Oh no, where are the cakes? I walk out, put on my most calm voice and soft customer service smile, and say, "Sorry, ma'am. I couldn't see any more cakes for pickup in our fridge. Do you have your receipt and/or order form?" Giving me a dirty look now, Karen. Why aren't my cakes in your fridge? I paid a lot of money for those special cakes. Fine. She's furiously digging in her purse and hands me a yellow copy. I can't remember the name of it, but it's the paper where you write on the white sheet, and it transfers to the yellow copy for the customer. Oh no, she got the expensive tiered birthday cakes, 3 of them, each cake worth $1.50 a piece. Then I think sometimes the decorators put the expensive cakes, especially the whipped icing ones, in the freezer so the colored frosting doesn't bleed into the white icing. Me. Okay, these are bigger cakes. Sometimes they put them in the freezer so they stay looking perfect. Let me go take a look in there. A smug smirk ensues and warning signs start going off. I walk into our freezer set at, I can see my breath degrees and stand there in the cold in an average polo, dress pants, and an apron, looking through the backup cakes for the floor. I think, This lady is going to go ballistic on me when I walk out with no cake. I stand in the freezer for 5 minutes, so she thinks I'm doing an intense search of our freezer. Nope. I'm thinking of what to do when I walk out. Tell her I'll call my manager and ask where the cakes are. Yeah, that's what I'll do. If I can get to the back doors, I can be free to panic and call my manager. So that's what I did. I walked out and told her that her cakes are not in the freezer, and before I could say more, Karen, are you guys that incompetent? You couldn't even make my cakes on time. I knew I shouldn't have trusted that stupid decorator. She was incompetent, and I should have asked your master decorator to do it instead. If you don't have my cakes, you dimwit, I want to talk to the store manager and get a refund. I spent over $150 here, and you don't have my cakes. Warning, warning. Me. I'm so sorry about this inconvenience. Let me go call my manager, and I'll definitely find where they put your cakes. Sometimes with special orders like this, they put them in another location so they don't get bumped into. Karen, you better, or I'll call your customer service and tell them you are incompetent too. Okay then. I quickly walk to the double doors in the back. Safe for now. I look up the phone number for our bakery manager. No answer. Call our second decorator. No answer. Call the master decorator. She picks up, a little upset because I called her while she was having dinner with the family, and I hastily explain what's going on. She starts apologizing to me profusely that she forgot this difficult customer should be coming in today. She forgot to tell me. So, this lady spent an hour with a second decorator, with a master decorator in the background. Karen ordered 3 birthday cakes, 2 tiers each. The decorators kept the white copy with letters at the top saying needs to pay and gave Karen the yellow copy and a barcode with $150 bakery goods written at the top. She was told to take the barcode up front, pay and ask for 2 receipts. She keeps one and brings back the other receipt to attach to our copy, saying it's paid for and we have the green light to make her cakes. She never came back. That was over a week ago, my master decorator explained. She told me next to call for the manager, who is that location's store manager, and to go to the back as soon as possible and put him on the phone. So I did. She told me that while she talks to him, I need to go ask this Karen for the receipt that she should have. Awesome manager came to the back. He's tall, bald, and looks like he's been in the army. He hasn't, but he has seen some tough situations. I shortly explained the situation and handed the phone over. Enter me, serious face and straight posture, about to confront this Karen professionally, gentleman style. I walk up to her, one look at her, and she looks like she's about to burst into the Hulk. Looking back at it now, I think it's hilarious. Me. Excuse me, ma'am. I just talked to the manager. He'll be here shortly. Do you happen to have the receipt for your order? Very smug smirk, half expecting her to actually hand me a real receipt. She hands me the barcode you scanned to pay. I'm laughing internally. I tell the lady calmly that this is not a receipt. This is a barcode to pay for a product. She starts to yell at me that I am, once again, incompetent and a dimwit when I hear the double doors in the back loudly swing open. Awesome manager steps in. Hello, please don't yell at my employee. Could you please tell me what's going on? She flips from Hulk Karen to pure innocent pregnant Karen. I was just trying to pick up my cakes for my baby cousin and my 2 other children. We are having a birthday party today, and sniffs I paid for my cakes, and they never made them. I need those cakes, or you could just give me these cakes points to the Want-Wo plain sheet cake in our decorator station for free. I can't spend any more money. I can't work at the moment since I'm pregnant. Blank stare from my manager, he asks, where is the receipt? Karen. She has it in her hands. They should have it on their copy. Manager takes the barcode from my hands. Ma'am, this isn't a receipt. Where is your receipt? That's it right there. Cuts her off. No, this is not a receipt. This is a barcode that you use to pay for something. If this is a receipt, where's the person's name that checked you out? The time? The date? She starts to stutter and slowly starts morphing back to Hulk Karen, yelling that she needs those cakes for her children, that she's pregnant and deserves those cakes now. She stomps her foot. She's throwing a tantrum because she's not getting free cake. I look over at my manager after Karen finishes her stomping. and he looks as amused as I am watching paint dry. She starts to demand a number for corporate customer service, and the awesome manager pulls out a card with his name and the number for both corporate and customer service for complaints. She takes it, still yelling how we all are idiots deceiving her. She turns around with her empty cart, still yelling how we all are stupid when she was the one who did something I've never seen the like of before. She gives us one more look over her shoulder, pushes her cart over, like tipped over, and she proceeds to sprint to the front door. Karen, who looks 8 months pregnant, is sprinting like an Olympic runner to the front doors. I'm stunned. Manager looks at me and sighs, then says, "I'll be right back." He starts to jog down one of the aisles, calls for one of the boys doing carts outside to look for this lady and what kind of car she's driving, along with the license plate. I'm standing there, customers are looking at me like, what the heck? And I just kind of give a sorry about that to everyone in the vicinity. I go back to do my dishes, thinking, did I imagine this whole scenario? Did the cleaning fumes finally get to my brain? Manager eventually comes back and asks if I'm okay. I am. He tells me that they have her face on camera. She'll go on the board. We have a board of customers to look out for, or that are banned up front. But she had no license plate on her old beaten-up truck. We laugh, and he tells me worse stories of difficult customers that he has had to deal with when he was new. This was nothing for him. He gave me a 15% coupon that is given to employees for my trouble and said if there is any more news with her, he'd let me know. Sure enough, he comes back an hour later when I'm getting ready to leave, smiling. He says, "Guess who just called back? No way." So this Karen, not 10 minutes after she left, called him back to yell at him that she called customer service, and they said he is to give her 3 free cakes and a refund. His reply was that it was Saturday, and the call service is not open on the weekend. He said she screamed and hung up. I've dealt with difficult people, but that was my first encounter with a Karen and entitled person mixed into a ball of fun. Story 2. I am in 9th grade, and there is a parking space in my school. One of my friends, who I will be calling Eric, comes to school in a car that belongs to his brother. Eric's brother is a super chill guy, so he lets us hang out with his car while he is at a shop buying medical items for his grandmother. Now, he does this once every week since 7th grade, so Eric and I always hang out with a few more friends, Jessica, Aaliyah, and Joe. So yeah, we talk to each other about stuff in school, weekends, and all other things for 2 years. We have parked in the same spot every time, but the few times when this spot is occupied, we take another one. According to our school rules, whoever takes a parking spot early can park in it as long as they can, but not over 6 p.m. because they will be closing by then. This day when this incident happened, it was one of the days where we parked at another spot. It was 5 p.m., and we decided to park the car here and go to McDonald's. Then comes entitled Karen and entitled mother. Entitled mother says something to her kid, who looked like she was 10 or so, and we find out she tells her to go over to us and ask something. Karen runs over to us and says, "You have to move your car out of here because my mom parks here every day." Aaliyah, who is my friend, walks up to the kid and says, "I'm sorry, honey, but we have taken this spot. Tell your mom to park somewhere else." And yes, there was a lot more space there. We just didn't want to move the car because of 2 reasons. 1. Eric's brother has already left for McDonald's, and we would have to call him to come back and move the vehicle, as he is the only person who can drive. 2. We had to leave as soon as possible because we needed to finish eating and take the car before the school closed. Makes sense, right? So, the kid conveyed what my friend said, and the entitled mother was not okay with it. She left her car on the corner of the road, and then she came to us and said, "Which one of you said I can't park here?" Aaliyah said. "It was me." "Ma'am, what's wrong?" Entitled mother, "Are you stupid?" So when she said that, Joe got really angry and said, "Ma'am, you can't use that word. We can park where we are comfortable." Entitled mother got really mad and caught his shirt and was shouting swear words at him. I stood up and said, "Listen here, ma'am. There are a lot of convenient spots you can park over here. Don't you dare touch us, or you will be behind bars. This is a warning." She slapped me right in the face and said, "I'm going to call the police and complain about how rude and abusive you guys are." I said, "You are the rude and abusive one here. When the police come, you're getting arrested. Go ahead." She murmurs swear words at me and my friends and starts dialing the police. Entitled mother. Hello? She said the address a bunch of school kids here are abusing me and my kids. They said they will not give me space and cursed at my daughter. Yes, she was lying. What a mean person. I was being as chill as I could be. We were waiting for 10 minutes, and the police finally came. Entitled Karen was in the car, and her entitled mother then pointed at me and said, "This kid hit me and my daughter." Jessica, no, sir. She is really lying. He didn't lay a finger. She was the one who slapped him. The police trusted the entitled mother, though, and got me in cuffs. I said, "Sir, can't you check the cameras?" Police. Seems about right. Come on, entitled mother. She refused at first and said, "I'm not going to waste my time on some kid or recordings." The police told her that in this case, she would be taken to court. She accepted and brought her kid. We met with the principal and asked her for the tapes. She gladly accepted, and when we reviewed the recording, entitled mother tried leaving and escaping 2 times, but it didn't work. Then the police apologized to me for getting me in cuffs, and the mom was arrested for a few days. That was crazy. Real crazy. I feel really bad for the kids who belong to these kinds of people.